There we are. Hey everybody, it's Jerry Gates. A little challenge with my internet. Let me just get my other thing going on here. Hi, it's Jerry Gates and welcome to Weekend Wisdom. Tonight I want to talk about communicating with men. Now, just because I'm talking about communicating with men, that doesn't mean the men all take off, because this is something that everybody can use, okay? So I'm going to go and do some inviting. Hi, Harriet. And Helen, thanks for coming. So this is from the book, The Queen's Code by Allison Armstrong. Some of this stuff is from there. Let's see if I have my, sorry. And she speaks about the difference between masculine and feminine as a way of thinking. I don't know what happened there. Masculine is getting results, feminine, or masculine is solving problems. Feminine is qualities of being, like compassion, generosity, curiosity. Let's invite some people here. I'm trying to do this on my little phone here. Anyway, I wanted to say some words like from Feminine Power to kind of give you an idea of the feminine and the masculine. And these are commonly held assumptions for masculine and feminine. So I'll say the masculine and then the feminine. Masculine external, feminine internal. Masculine mental, feminine emotional. Masculine separate, feminine related. Masculine hard, feminine soft. Masculine doing, feminine being. Masculine goal, feminine intention. So intention comes from within, and a goal is looking out. It's more linear, okay? Purpose-driven, masculine. Love-driven, feminine. Protective, masculine. Nurturing, feminine. Provider, masculine. Nester, feminine. Masculine ordered, feminine chaotic. Masculine contained, feminine wild. Masculine linear, feminine non-linear. Masculine task-focused, feminine multitask. Masculine predictable, feminine unpredictable. Masculine head, feminine body. Okay, just to give you some idea of the different qualities between masculine and feminine. Okay, so sometimes the tendency is to be 100% feminine and idealize the feminine, and we really need both, right? We need to have those qualities, bits of all of those qualities. So I want to talk about emasculate, and this was a lot of the work that Allison Armstrong did in her book, The Queen's Code. She really noticed before she wrote the book how she was saying things that was emasculating men. It was putting them down and didn't realize it. So here we go. Tomer identifies the word emasculate as truly to reduce the ability to produce results. There's something to think about. Now, Allison has these 3 C's: criticizing, comparison, and complaining. So let's talk about those. Criticizing. Women can be extremely critical to themselves and others. Anyone disagree with that? We can be really hard on ourselves. We can be critical. We think that if we point something out to others, it makes it better. And then men adapt to criticism differently. When you point out and pick apart the 20% that he did wrong, he can wonder why even bother, why even do anything at all. So it's something to look at how we look at it differently. We think it's important to point it out, and they take it as, well, what's the point? Okay, they take it as the whole thing, or they can. The next one is, let me just say, let's give up criticism and practice gratitude in that one. And then comparison is like comparing a man to another man or an earlier version of himself. Well, you used to, or why can't you be more like Tom? You see how that can be emasculating. You can't win with that. So watch what you say. And the next one is complaining. We need to understand that a masculine is a problem solver. And when you're complaining and you're letting them know about a problem and you're not going to let them fix it because you're too busy just complaining, you're training them to, it's like, what's the point? just give up. So give up the complaining. Notice what you're doing. One of the most important things is ask yourself, what's my intention here? What am I trying to accomplish? And if you ask yourself that more often, your communication's going to go up tremendously. Partnership. So let's talk about removing some of the barriers in partnership, like clarity, consistency, and appreciation. Clarity of what you want, what you need, and what's important to you. Then express it in a way that someone else hears it. Translate it in the meaning where it makes meaning or makes sense to them. Like, for instance, use their language. If I say I want more intimacy to my partner, he might take it as I want more sex. That might not be what I'm talking about. I might want to cuddle, have quiet time alone. And so you really need to take a look at what's the language that they're getting out of it, or what's their perception of it. So clarity. And then consistency means make up your mind. Don't make up your mind or say one thing today and something else the next day, because what we end up doing is training them to go, why bother? It's going to change your mind anyway. So be consistent. Be clear about, go back to that, what's my intention here? And be clear about what it is you want. And be consistent. And then appreciation, expressing it. Take it personally and say thank you, that they got it right. Appreciation returns the energy to somebody. And the happier you are, or you make someone, the happier they are. Okay, here's one. Women often expect men to read their minds. No, we don't do that, do we? That's when we don't talk or don't tell them what we want, or we just get all upset because they didn't do what we thought they should do. And the important thing is they can't read our minds. And communicate. Let them know what's important to you. Communicate. Let's see, how do you get what you want in a relationship? When it comes to a long-term relationship, it's about getting your partner's attention and keeping it there. This feels counterintuitive, so here it comes. But experts recommend time apart. When you make a suggestion to your partner, look, I'll take the kids this weekend and you go hunting with your friend, or you go fishing, or you go spend time with the guys. And they feel validated and nurtured, and then they're going to, because they feel good about themselves, and they get re-energized and charged up, recharged when they get to have those kinds of experiences. And then they come back and they want to be with you. They're seeking you because you've considered them. Let's see, for being thoughtful about their needs. So marriage or partnership is it's for both sides. And the best relationships for both sides is try to understand where the other person's coming from, and try to speak a language they understand, and try to meet their needs in a way that they want to met. A really good example is the book, The 5 Love Languages, and I'm thinking about doing that next week. It's like, what fills your love bucket? What's important to me may not be important to my partner. I know my former husband that passed away loved notes. He wrote tons of notes. He loved getting notes too. That filled his love bucket. And it took me a while to figure that out. But once I did, it was amazing. So understanding what their needs are. Not the way I think needs should be met, okay? It's not what I think, it's tune in, lean in, find out what's important to them, get on their frequency, and see what makes them tick. Listen to them. If you're speaking his language and tuning into him, you're going to connect with him, and he's going to want to be more engaged and stay engaged because he's getting more out of it. And then hopefully it becomes a positive cycle where, he's meeting your needs, you're meeting his needs, and it's just, you're mimicking each other. So like a tuning fork, we all have this propensity to see the world through our own eyes. And this is what I meant earlier about leaning in. Here is something to look at. If we make sacrifices, we want our partner to know we made a sacrifice. You ever feel that way? That tit for tat? If we do a good deed, we want our partner to know we did a good deed, that we did something. And we don't always pay as much attention to the things that they do. If we're in that space of, well, see what I did, or wanting acknowledgement for it, but we can't be in that space of wanting acknowledgement and acknowledging. So looking at what they're doing. Let's see. We don't always pay attention to the things that our partners do to sacrifice for us to make us happy. So we tend to inadvertently keep score. And then that's an unproductive recipe for a relationship, because you're always going to end up in your head keeping score, right? Oh, he's behind, right? So stop it. Stop it. Just be about giving and tuning in. Get your guys' attention. You need to throw them a bit of a curveball, like I was saying earlier. Hey, honey, why don't you go to spend the day with the guys? Or I bought football tickets, doing something that they want to do. And then they're going to be more apt to want to do what you want to do. So spending that time together. Maybe saying something like, look, how about on Sunday morning I pack a picnic, we get up early and we go just spend the day together. So getting your calendar out and spending at least one evening or one quality time together through the week, at least once. Let's see. And then be grateful. Be grateful. You can say to your partner, I know that you've been working really hard and we really missed you this week, but I want you to know that we do appreciate you and we know that you're putting our needs ahead of your own, and we so appreciate it. So it's about really speaking from your heart and letting them know, not anything scripted, but just really being in that moment of gratitude, okay? For most men, words of affirmation are huge. And then speaking of the traits like leadership, achievement, and sacrifice for family, I was just mentioning that. So there's that. And then I said go to your planner. How often should you express appreciation? You're probably not expressing it enough. So beef it up some, right? Be about gratitude. And that's something we can all work on. And be more intentional about it. So I want to share a little story. Randy, my former husband, and I, we were laying on my bed listening to a feminine power talk, one of my trainings, and the guy was talking about finding your soulmate, and he said, you found your soulmate when you look into your beloved's eyes and you're home. So we both popped up off the bed and looked at each other and said, I'm home. And this was just less than 2 months before he passed away, and I got to tell you, every day until the day he passed, he would pause and look into my eyes and say, I'm home, or I adore you. And I took it in most of the time. Sometimes I would think, oh, but I got to do this, I got to do that. I wasn't being present, right? Or I remember him saying, I adore you once, and I felt like I was drinking from a fire hose. I wasn't receiving the gift, right? 2 days before he passed. Because of all of that time of adoring each other or looking into each other's and really being present, each other's eyes and really being present, I'm kissy facing all over him. And he's giggling and he says, what's this all about? And I told him, it's because I love you. And it was because he helped create that space that made it safe for me to act wacky like that and really let him know how much I loved him. I am so grateful I did that. Just 2 days before he passed. It's such a beautiful memory. I'll also say that I think about the times when I felt overwhelmed, and I don't beat myself up. I just go, that was an opportunity. The next time I have that opportunity, I'm going to make sure that I'm fully present. So I'm going to invite you to connect with your partner in ways that you haven't before. Have appreciation. There was something in the beginning that was important to you. What's the big picture? We get so off into our own little worlds. What do you want? Why are you in a relationship? Do you want the love of a lifetime? Do you know you can create it now? You can create whatever you want. So anyway, that's what I got. If you have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. And if you have ideas on what to do next week or in the coming weeks, put that in the chat. If this inspires you, please share it. Let me just do a quick review. So remember the 3 C's: criticizing, comparison, and complaining. Partnership, clarity, consistency, and appreciation. kind gestures, tune into your partner, and words of affirmation. So there you have it. I want to invite you. I'm a life coach, and I want to invite you for a breakthrough session. It's an hour of power. It will change your life, I promise you. It is no charge. What would you think of 1 hour with me all to yourself? And let's just work on one issue. And I will give you tools that will change your life. Anyway, push the button above or below, wherever it is. I think next week, unless somebody has another idea, I will do the 5 love languages. It can be used more than just for your significant other. It can help you understand your family and your loved ones. Just understanding what makes people happy, what fuels their happiness. You know, we want to put out good to get it back, right? We want harmony around us. And when we have the tools to create it, it's powerful. Anyway, book that free breakthrough session with me. Thanks. Jerry Kate signing out. Let's see if I can get you all in here, though. Thank you.